Mentalist.
Yep.
You slightly said something about Green Arrow, and now
We're
it's
just starting.
for Arrow. What's going on? Can you tell us?
It turned out great, I think. I think it turned out great. Yeah, they when I saw you guys, we were right in the middle of it, trying out some sounds and some themes and watching the visuals, and then I got the whole show, and it's very exciting.
Awesome.
It's a really dark show. It's not a happy CW feel.
Yeah.
It's not 90210. It's he's a messed up character, messed up individual, and surrounded by a lot of very messed up people. So it's fun to write because I've got a wide range of emotions musically that I can do.
Cool.
And a lot of what I was working on works really well, so it's exciting. And it's a very different stylistically for me, because I come from a lot of family dramas. And I joke that if people are crying on screen, bring me in, but there's not much crying on this one.
Now, have you composed all the music for the whole season, or are you still
just for the pilot?
Okay, so my question is for the pilot.
So we did the pilot, and they sold that for series,
Yeah.
and now they begin writing the scripts. They just turned in, I think, the first script. They're shooting as we speak.
I'll say
First episode. So I will see the next episode next month.
Oh, wow.
And then it starts. Then the train leaves the station, and you better be on board, because every week we need a new score.
Wow. So that's so. So when you prepare your writing, do you base it on the theme of what's happening? Is it based on a character, or just based on what's happening in the episode?
In the episode. If there's a new character, sometimes they'll want a new theme, or if there's our main guy, Oliver Queen, I'll follow him with his established theme, and it's really just, I wait until, I sometimes tell them, don't tell me what's going to happen, because I want to experience like the audience.
Yeah.
I'll watch it, and the reaction I have is what I'll try to then recreate musically.
Now, do you look at a clip of the scene? Do you watch the whole episode?
I get the whole show.
Okay, you get the whole show,
The
and
whole
from
show.
there you compose the music based on.
And we'll sit and we'll watch it together, the producers and myself, and we'll talk about, it would be nice if we started music here and it ended here, and maybe it could be this, maybe this time it could be sad, maybe this time it could be exciting. So we'll actually go through, it's called a spotting session, and spot all the places, and then I go home to my studio and start writing for each of those spots.
Wow, fantastic. Now will you be also returning and working on The Mentalist?
Yes, season 5, which is going to be an interesting season. When we last left Patrick, he had almost met his match, so we'll see what happens.
And how does that work out doing the two? Is it just a schedule, or do you
No, it's on top of each other, but I just sort of carve out the days. I used to say that I would work on one show depending on how I felt, but now you're sort of dictated. Today I have to write crime music, or I'm not going to make my deadline. Tomorrow I get to write superhero music, but they're really fun shows and completely different stylistically, so not a lot of chance of repeating myself, although I do sometimes.
So now between the break, do you work on any movies or anything, or are you strictly sticking with your
No,
shows?
I went to Spain for a week, and I was a music director at a film festival and conducted other people's music for a while, which was fantastic, and it's a lot of fun.
And what challenges do you find just composing the music for the television as versus movies?
I think just probably like I've told you before, like just the time aspect. It's so quick. You have less than 10 days for an episode, sometimes a week only. But it's not always bad, because sometimes it's good just to go with your instincts and not think too much about it. Just go, I know it'll be great, let's do this. Whereas on films, you'll sometimes have too long.
Yeah, too long. And lastly, I want to find out, when you are thinking and get roadblocks and thinking of music, is there anything that you use to inspire you to think of new ideas? Do you put the TV on? Do you listen to like sound? Or do you just complete silence?
I listen to a lot of other people's music, whether it's from movies or radio or classical. But what I like to do is I like to give myself rules for that project. So I'll box myself in. So then I'm forced to write in a certain way. And like for Arrow, I came up with this silly, really nerdy thing of, the bow and arrow. I was only going to use bowed instruments, so strings. And I boxed myself in until I came up with the concept, and then I cheat and I expand. but it's just kind of my process.
Now, what instrument do you use to write music? Guitar, piano?
I'm a piano player, and then my piano is hooked up to my computer, and which has every sound you can imagine, from a kazoo to a human voice to didgeridoo. I mean, it's got everything in it, so I can sort of create that and then go and record the real instrument. So.
That's pretty interesting. The last one, what advice do you give other artists out there who want to be composers and go into film scoring or TV scoring? What advice would you give?
I would say try to write music to some existing movies and TV shows that are there. Just turn the sound off and try to feel it out and see how your music plays to that story. And then also try to find composers that you like and respect and contact them. I mean, we all have email and websites, and try to work for them, because that's how I got into it, was working for other composers.
Wow, that's a good idea. Well, thanks a lot.
Thank you. Good to see you again.
Finally.
Good to see you.